Hey, what's happening, gamers? Welcome back to Batman Arkham Wednesday, as we continue our long, probably very lengthy journey to Batman Arkham Knight, releasing sometime in 2015. I, of course, will be playing Batman Arkham Origins and be using the new 52 skin because I thought that would be a good idea to talk about the Batsuit, as promised. First, we're going to discuss the different Batsuits, and then we'll get into the technology side of things. You know, the sci-fi stuff of today. All Batman's weird gizmos and gadgets inside the suit. We're going to save the utility belt for another video. Now, throughout the years, Bruce has had many fancy new Sunday vest studs, and the Batsuit has changed a lot in 75 years. Yeah, it's a lot scarier now. When Bob Kane first drew The Dark Knight in 1939, it had a very simplified look to it. You know, gray bodysuit, black cowl, cape, boots, trunks, and yes, even purple gloves. Which was basically must-have fashions for billionaire playboys and circus performers of the day. Amazingly, after all these years, the Batsuit hasn't veered far from its original inception. You still look like Dracula. For the most part, the suit appears like simple cloth, something that, you know, one of Bruce's many girlfriends or Alfred could have sewn together. In the beginning, it was a basic spandex costume. How's it going? The only protection that it offered was a bulletproof vest that could be worn underneath the shirt. This suit was very accessible and would even fit inside most briefcases. And while Batman wore the suit, he would be very flexible, it was light material, so he could easily do this on patrol. You know, should the 30s Batman, be awesome like that. So the whole point of the costume was two things. One, reaffirm Batman's vow sworn on his parents' grave. And number two, use the motif of the bat to scare the crap out of evildoers everywhere. Why didn't that break? Fine, I'll break it this way. Booyah! Okay, so we all know that Batman believes that criminals are a superstitious, cowardly lot. That never gets old. Even though Batman's right in this area, this is mostly due to his menacing, horrifying image projected from the shadows and alleyways of Gotham. I mean, seriously, if a sane person saw that figure lurking in the shadows, you wouldn't just be afraid of it. That would be the least of your worries. So yeah, the Batsuit does its job of scaring people and criminals everywhere, and little children. Different artists have brought their own spin to the Batsuit over the years, and even Kane himself changed the design a few times, like adding the addition of fixed wings in the early 40s, which allowed Batman to glide short distances. And Kane said that the idea came from the wingspan off one of Da Vinci's flying machines or something. Still, this look didn't last long, which I'm kind of glad because Batman looked like a total nerd. And the cape was eventually, replaced with more like a parachute cape. By the 1970s, Batman used a longer, darker, flowing cape, which allowed him to slow down his descent when he fell and lurk in the shadows. Now, the 70s and 80s Batman, that look to the character, the Neil Adams Batman, is one of my favorites. I mean, he just looks so awesome. It is not somebody you want to mess with. As mentioned in the various Arkham games and comics, the full-body cape was used to hide Batman's body while moving about. This made it difficult for snipers to get a vital hit on Batman while he's walking, so his vital organs would be hidden and stuff like that. It's all good. Down you go. The idea that Batman's suit started out as ordinary fabric played to the notion that this was a flesh and blood character that was indeed mortal and could be killed. Over the years, Bruce has applied different technology for the suits, such as adding more protection, a yellow oval around his chest to draw gunfire away from Robin, and give criminals a bright bullseye to aim for, since, you know, the bat symbol and chest area was reinforced Kevlar. Though just because the Batman had added protection there, he would still try to avoid gunfire as best he could. Now, when Bane broke the bat, Bruce retired and Jean-Paul Valley created a suit that was cutting-edge armor for, well, the 90s, along with razor-sharp claws like Wolverine, bat daggers, fireproof cape, and a computer woven into the suit, which is actually similar to Tim Drake's costume that Bruce designed to keep the third Robin safe. It had a tracking device and all kinds of stuff built into the suit to prevent this Robin from being killed. Well, at least killed very easily. That was the idea behind it. When Batman returned after Nightfall, he created a darker suit to mirror Keaton's movie costume, which was awesome. And it also had like razor-like fins on the gloves and an absorbic fabric to prevent his back from being broken easily. That way it would like absorb stuff, so, you know, it would lessen the impact, so to speak. It also helped when Batman was leaping on rooftops too. Still, this heavy design didn't really last long and was changed to a lighter armor look for No Man's Land. And this probably has to do with one or two reasons. One, there was a different artist, and also in No Man's Land, Batman is kind of like separated from all his technology. He had to have like a bigger utility belt and carry more weapons and things with him, so he needed, you know, more stuff. Because he couldn't really get to Batcaves and all this other stuff. He was stuck in Gotham all the time. Now, I recall when Jim Lee took over the reins of the Bat books during the Hush arc, Batman's design and his suit echoed more of the Year One. Oh crap! No! Can you see I'm like trying to talk here, people? So it echoed the Year One and Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns look, which Jim Lee actually said he's a big fan of that. So the colors were also mostly gray and light blue, which was different than a lot of the Batman stuff we had seen at that time. Which I think is what Ben Affleck's Batman is going to be like on the silver screen. Oh, man, I'm just totally sucking today. That's alright. I took them down. And why am I walking like a nerd? The suit itself was equipped with a communications device so we could talk to Oracle in the Cowl, had a bulletproof vest, Kevlar cape, and it was fireproof. I'm not really going to get into all the gadgets that Jim Lee's Batman had because there's lots of them. We'll cover that probably in other videos. And, yeah. In the Batman Arkham games, though, the suit is fitted with all kinds of tech, and even tech that Batman creates as you progress through the game. Though its appearance is actually a mixture of the Batman Animated Series Batsuit and Neil Adams' Batsuit, which, of course, you know I like. However, the Origins Batsuit is modeled after more the New 52, which you're actually seeing the New 52 suit here. You can see like all the stitchings and like high-techness of the suit and the plating on the back of the cowl. I mean, this is a tricked out suit. You know what I'm saying? But I just want an excuse to bring up talking about the animated series and kind of leave the Iron Man Batsuit for later. When creating the Emmy Award-winning animated series, Bruce Timm and Paul Dini based Batman's suit on Kane's basic body costume idea, and of course, the Dark Ages 80s Batman. So very dark blues, grays, hints of black, stuff like that. Yeah, you're in trouble, Pally. I just love playing this game, it's so much fun. See, what the company wanted to do... Booyah! So what the company wanted to do is they wanted to project this, like, embodiment of fear with the Batman. You know, really spook the criminal underworld. So they wanted a Batsuit that would blend into their dark deco world. And that was their approach for the natural look. In terms of protection, Batman didn't have any in the series that I can recall. Tim and company even got rid of Batman's bulletproof vest. Like, that wasn't even part of the concept for the animated series. What they wanted with the Batman animated series was to capture your imagination and transport you into a believable, functioning Gotham City where Batman could operate in a real-world environment and have consequences for doing so. Every weekday afternoon on Fox Kids, we saw a vulnerable Batman using just his skills, wits, strengths, and gadgets along with agility to come out on top and triumph over the bad guys. It wasn't the suit that made the man, it was the man that made the suit, which is totally the parallel opposite of the Arkham games and the New 52 and the movies. Especially the Burton movies. Batman started out with a body armor covered in thick Kevlar, and this suit could stop rounds at close range from both shotguns and pistols, though it would mostly render Batman unconscious, like when Bob the Thug shot Batman in the alley. It would break knives and allowed Batman to survive a plane crash when the Batwing was shot down by the Joker. In Batman Returns, Bruce donned a heavier armored costume, something that Schumacher seemed to ignore in Batman Forever when Two-Face had him at gunpoint. There were so many face palms at that part. He also got many more face palms with Batman and Robin, making the Batsuit just like rubbery and the bat nipples. I mean, really? Christopher Nolan wanted a armored suit for his Batman trilogy, and he even showed the viewers how Batman got his snappy new threads, courtesy of Lucius Fox. Which I thought was really cool that they did that. During The Dark Knight, when Bruce gets his suit upgrade for, 2.0, he sacrifices some protection for maneuverability, and he also wanted stuff that would help him in combat, to be much faster and to hit harder. Though, when he runs into Two-Face and gets shot at the end of the movie, we see the limits that this Kevlar suit has. So what Lucius told him about bullets stopping, not really. Didn't really work that well for Batman. I think the Begin suit would have probably handled that bullet shot better. And his gauntlets in both films are used for breaking knives and other melee weapons, as they are in this game. In the comics, Dick Grayson as Batman kind of takes jabs at the Nolan suit from time to time, especially when he's suiting up for the first time. His costume was made to be combat heavy, and the cape became very light and known as a paracape, which is, I think, what they called it in The Dark Knight. So it had lighter material, but because of that, it lessened much of the bulletproof and flame-proof aspects of its predecessor. Still got the job done, but like the animated series, we saw Dick Grayson get hurt a lot more. So maybe that's why people said he was kind of more relatable as Batman. I mean, he wasn't invincible, like, what we're seeing on screen. Without getting into the whole Batman Beyond territory or Silver Age stuff, sorry, I don't have any love for rainbow or zebra bat suits today. Not today. As technology has advanced, so has Batman's suits, more or less, and since the launch of the New 52, the entire Batsuit is like a mobile suit of armor. It's like a Gundam, like a miniature Gundam. Minus the rocket boots, although Jim Lee kind of gave him rocket boots and propellers on the bottom of his boots at one time. But the interesting thing about the New 52 suit is even though it's a tank, it's light as a feather, and it makes no sense. Unlike costumes of the past, Bruce's new suit is covered with 15 micro layers of Nomex reinforced fabric. The inside of the suit provides plenty of insulation though, is 100% bulletproof, and breathes like Egyptian cotton. That's a new feature. He also doesn't need different speciality suits for combating the likes of Mr. Freeze, Firefly, or having to deal with extreme environmental conditions anymore. It's all built into one suit. Talk about convenient and saving space. If you're wondering, all those old suits that dealt with the different conditions like heat, ice, toxic, waste, all that other stuff, they're still in various bat caves on display somewhere. Bruce is a pack rat. He never throws anything away, as you can see from all the various trophies inside the Batcave.
I need any unassigned unit for special assignment. Stand by.
Now, the Cowl itself is tricked out too. Just like the Arkham games, Batman can stay in communication with Oracle, listen to the police band, and he also has the tech built right in. The ears of the Batsuit, which is very interesting, actually has an antenna inside them, as well as a transmitter, which allows Batman to listen in on thugs' conversations and order takeout, as well as stay connected to the Bat computer. Like the body of the costume, the cowl itself is layered in Nomex and Kevlar. And just like the Dark Knight and Detective Vision, the eye slits give Batman both night and thermovision. So that's pretty awesome. For added protection too, the cowl can be activated to block sound attacks that could damage Batman's ears from metahumans. After being beaten by like Vertigo and Scarecrow, he also has special filters built in the cowl to help with the Crusaders' like balance, along with some of Scarecrow's tactics. Along with that, he's added special shielding from mind control by the Mad Hatter and some of the other like crazy DC villains that use that type of ability. So Batman, as long as he has his cowl on in the New 52, he's going to be cool. You know what I mean? The temples and skull area of the cowl have a armor placed to help with heavy blows to the head. So this allows Batman to fight longer if he's outnumbered 100 to 1. And this actually makes sense for the New 52, just because there are a lot more superpowered villains and things like that, as opposed to pre-Crisis and things like that. Should he be defeated just like pre-Crisis, as an extra measure of protection, there is a gas attack that will immobilize people dumb enough to try to pull the cowl off Batman's head, should he be unconscious. There are some incarnations of the Batsuit that people will be electrified if they try to pull off the cowl, but I like the gas attack better. I think that's pretty cool. We especially saw that, I believe it was in Batman, Superman, Public Enemies. Man, I'm totally sucking right now. Excuse me. Just gonna deal with these clowns. Oh, jeez. Jerk. Totally ruining my video. Yeah, that's what you get. Yeah. So, I think it's a good time to talk about his boots. Because his boots, they aren't just for walking. On the bottom, as some of you probably know, he has hidden toys like the ultrasonic device built in his left heel that he used in Batman Year 1 and Batman Begins to call in the bats as backup. I always thought that was a really cool thing. He still has that in his boot. And he also has a blow dart gun, which I was kind of surprised about that when I learned about this. See, even I learned when researching about the Batman. The blow dart gun, I don't really remember him using all that often, to be honest. But I'm sure it comes in handy for certain things. I know that in How It Should Have Ended, they showed the blow dart gun, like, for how The Dark Knight Rises should have ended. You know, many bat darts. That would do it. The boots itself are very versatile, and they help Batman absorb the impact from, like, massive landings, which makes sense. But somehow they've been fixed with steel toes for combat, too, which I don't know how that would work. I mean, how do you make a boot that is both versatile for free running and absorbing the impact of stuff, but also dishing out the impact for the steel-toed stuff for offensive strikes? Capes, on the other hand, are just not for the opera anymore. In the hands of a skilled master, the cape can be a formidable ally, which is something we haven't really seen in the Arkham games other than the cape stun. In the comics, Batman actually has lead inside the cape, like the tip, so he can use to, like, smack people in the face and, you know, make them dizzy and things like that. So it's kind of a cool feature. Aside from the gliding aspect, if Bats needs to ditch the cape, say Solomon Grundy is trying to strangle him or something, he has, like, clasps that he can, like, release very quickly. And also when he was fighting Captain Clown in the animated series, they showed that too. Just like the suit itself, the cape is fire, ice, and bulletproof. Like Sean Paul and Bale's gauntlets, New 52 and Arkham Bats are the same, and they can be used for breaking knives, as you've seen me do in the game. The gloves also have, like, lockpicks and other smaller tools hidden inside, too. So should Batman lose his belt, he's still not, you know, unprotected. Over the years, the shell or outer layer of the suit has been made to resist most Joker acids and other, like, types of corrosives, I believe is how you say it. And Batman's New 52 suit is the most advanced combat suit ever created. It's also the most wicked expensive, too. Recently, smart armor technology has been incorporated into the New 52 suit, so already making the Batsuit even more complex. The costume itself reacts like a second skin now, remaining very flexible when Batman is free running, and it becomes tough as nails when Batman's stabbed or crushed or shot, which allows the wearer to survive pretty much anything. And in the New 52 universe, where the Justice League is, like, doing all kinds of crazy stuff that makes sense. But if that wasn't enough to make the suit 20% cooler, like the Batwing, the outer layer of the Batsuit can execute maximum zappage of 200,000 volts of electricity, making things very shocking for foes that get too close to Batman on a bad day. He has something similar in the Arkham games, like the electric gloves, and, you know, it would work the same, but just think the entire suit turns into, like, this massive conductor. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up now. So, what did we learn, ladies and gentlemen? Other than that Batman is not someone you want to mess with, and his utility belt isn't the only thing that makes him the most dangerous man alive. Even without it, Batman is still very dangerous. Well, unless he's Adam West. Because Adam West without his utility belt was pretty funny. Now just so you know, most Batsuits pre-Crisis or Flashpoint, whatever, they were bulletproof around the torso area and offered some flame protection for the Dark Knight 2. Personally though, I will always identify more with the Batman Animated Series Batsuit because it made Batman's struggle and just the overall character more relatable and not Iron Man-ish that could survive like all of this crazy alien stuff. I mean, I don't know. I want to hear from all of you though. What did you learn about the Batsuit from this video? Let me know in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe because YouTube sucks right now. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch. Join me next week as we take a look at some more Batman lore in Batman Arkham Wednesday. Have a great rest of your night. Mr. J, take us out.
Well, that's the end of this video. Who's up for Chinese? Seriously though, make sure to like, favorite, and share this delicious video. Unless, of course, you like being wrapped in plastic and left in the gutter. Oops, sorry, a force of habit.